So Kelly, I'm just going to get started so we can get to share all the fun insight that you have with your beautiful property at Buffalo Spirit Ranch. Um, just to kick off this live, I wanted to just share what the intention is and then a reminder, a refresher on this retreat that I'm hosting. It's called Adventure Within Retreat, and it's a women's specific retreat in New Mexico for end of fall. So October 25th through the 29th, which is such a beautiful time. All the fall leaves and the season is shifting. So I'm really excited to share this with everybody. But specifically, the purpose of today is really, Kelly, to kind of let you give insight on what Equus is and show us Buffalo Spirit Ranch, the power of working with horses, as well as a little tidbit on the spirit animal journey that your colleague Nikole will also be kind of helping out with. And so part of the retreat that I'm leading under Dogma is we will have a day at your property. So kind of before I kind of hand it over to you or pass over the mic, for anybody that's hopping on or watching this recording, just wanted to share a little bit about what the intention of this retreat is. So Adventure Within, the idea is that we're finding a mixture of modalities to soften and surrender the self. This is a 5-day retreat, and it's going to kind of offer a mixture of yoga and meditations, sound bath, a day at Ojo Caliente Spa, so you can kind of rejuvenate and relax and rest. We'll have a lovely burning ceremony, cleansing intention ceremony as well at the ranch retreat property that we'll be living at. And the idea there is to integrate a few wellness sessions that will kind of offer you a chance to surrender, to kind of let go of any of those external distractions that are out there. And also enjoy a labyrinth meditation walk, which is a beautiful experience. And for anybody that follows my brand with Dogma, I do a lot of indigo dyeing. So, and there's a beautiful correlation with that. The third eye being your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, your intuition in the chakra system. It's an indigo color. There's also a beautiful meditation art in dying. So there's like this beautiful flow that's kind of happening and allowing that creativeness or spirit to kind of pass through you. What I find beautiful about kind of the overlap with Kelly and kind of what I'm offering with this Adventure Within is just there's this power of presence that we can get and this insight. And so when we start to let go of the external world or this external distraction, if you will, or what I like to think of is when our mind is racing or our thoughts or sometimes this false narrative, we're forgetting how to actually trust and listen to our intuition. And so my goal with this retreat is to really nourish you and provide rest, but then also have you leave with a toolkit. So different modalities that you can learn from or different experiences that something like Kelly will help provide. I always find that the mind is loud, our thoughts are loud, kind of rattling, but it's the gentle whisper of the intuition that's there. And so, how can we learn to actually find stillness and listen to that intuition? And then also how to trust it and how to leverage that or integrate it into our everyday life. So, somebody might be a leader in a corporate world, they might be a dog mom, right? Or they might be a partner or a mother. And so how to invite in this presence and that builds this calm and confident knowing, how to integrate that into your everyday life. And whether it's a role that you already play or a role that you desire or seek to play. So the idea is that you're kind of learning through experience. And kind of last thing before I kind of hand it over to Kelly is my exposure within the Equus world happened in 2017. And for anyone that follows me, I'm big on savoring life and adventuring and just experiencing this world. And I feel like our biggest learning or biggest lesson is in experiences. And so that's where I'm wanting to invite in this day at Buffalo Spirit Ranch for you to really truly get this experience with these magnificent creatures, super energetic, very spiritual, but how that can actually help you be a better leader, be a better mother, dog mom, you name it, partner, all things, and really inviting in all the principles of presence and care and confidence and calm. So with that, Kelly, I'd love for you to really just kind of share insight on like, what is this? How the heck are we using horses to learn from? Maybe share a little bit about your background and your property, just kind of for anybody that might already be signed up and curious, or anyone that might be on the fence. What about this is so powerful?
Yeah, thank you so much, Kristin. And I'm super excited about this partnership that is emerging with Dogma. And I'm joined, let's see, I've got my little, my kitty Winnie. We have 2 barn cats and 2 barn dogs and 5 horses and 2 donkeys. So if at any moment things get loud, just enjoy the moment and it'll get quiet and probably soon after. So yeah, you said so much, Kristin, and one of the things I noticed about what you said was how do we become more present, more centered and grounded? These are my words, but also partly yours, so that we can become better leaders, better sisters, better mothers, better dog mothers. And what's interesting about all of that, and so common for women, is that our personal development is often so that we can become better for others. We have such a natural proclivity towards service to others, which is beautiful and powerful and, to be commended. And it always starts with us. Who are we? What do we need to have a fidelity to ourselves so that we cultivate these things, presence, calm, groundedness, for ourselves first and foremost? What I love about your retreat is it is so much about cultivating and taking in the nourishment of self-care and self-love. And yes, as a byproduct, then we get to be better leaders and better dog moms and better mothers and sisters and friends, which is a lot about what Equus is about. We are based in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We are a leadership development organization, a coach consulting organization, and we work with senior level leaders of organizations, but we also work with visionaries and lifelong learners and anybody who is there trying to make a difference in the world in whatever way, however they define that. I learned as a consultant and a coach that if I really wanted to create meaningful, sustained change for my clientele, I had to pair the learning with experiential processes like what you're doing in the retreat. When people have a sort of intellectual understanding, a cognitive understanding about certain important concepts, it can only go so far. People learn with their whole bodies. They learn hard, difficult, traumatic things with their bodies, and they learn innovative, transformative things with their bodies. And so this is why we created Buffalo Spirit Ranch, where I am sitting today. And I'll give you just a little tour so you can see what's here. Stella the donkey just gave a great big call out to all of you. And we're most known for our process called the Equus Experience, which partners with a herd of horses and donkeys to create conditions for transformative learning. My background is, let's just go back to childhood. My father ran the Laboratory of Anthropology here in Santa Fe. I'm a New Mexico native. And so I had a very unconventional childhood, a very unconventional education, hanging out with a lot of indigenous communities, and had the privilege of having several indigenous teachers who taught me a way of living and seeing the world that is outside the colonized patriarchal framework that we're so used to. And what I discovered in kind of living in two worlds is that our modern colonized framework is one of separation and a lot of pain that's unnecessary. So I love to bring people here so that they get a glimpse of another way of seeing the world. And just as importantly, another way of seeing their connection to the world, their belonging in the world, their belonging to themselves, and their belonging to the natural world. And this seems to be very powerful for people in ways that bypass it bypasses all the resistance of our intellectual, prefrontal cortex. It bypasses the neocortex of our brain and goes straight into places of the heart that is where we have sovereignty over who we are and who we become. And a lot of the heavy lifting happens with the horses because you're hanging out with, well, in this case, you're hanging out with 7 very large nervous systems. And those large nervous systems positively inform the bodies of those who are in their midst. And they kind of liberate new neural networks, new neural pathways that before weren't possible. So that's a very big, it's a big impact, but I'm way oversimplifying in how that happens and why that happens. But it's all based in neuroscience, and people emerge with a sense of almost like their inner compass has been just a little quarter turned and set towards their own true north, and that's what happens here. And we have 11 acres. We're just 15 minutes from the plaza, but we're adjacent wilderness and national forest. And we do other things too. We bring nature-based practices to our clientele so that they are engaging with the natural world, 3.8 billion years of evolutionary intelligence to inform them about how to live, how to lead, how to thrive. And so we just have a whole kind of curriculum of different activities. One of the things that you will participate in if you are part of this retreat is with one of our faculty members, Nikole. She is a Lakota initiated shaman, pipe carrier, and ceremonialist. And she will be doing a drum journey to take you in to find your spirit animal. Now, there's a lot of talk in spiritual New Age circles around spirit animals and also about cultural appropriation. When you sit with someone who has been formally initiated by Lakota elders, this is something altogether different. This is something you can't just, pop up on Google and look for your spirit animal. This is a journey. This is a ceremonial medicine journey to be reacquainted with your animus, your spiritual partner who takes the form of an animal, or could take the form of a butterfly, an insect, or a dragon, or a snake, or an eagle. It just depends on who your animal is. And according to this cosmology of Nikole's, modern culture separates us from an essential part of ourselves that is inherently undomesticated and inherently intuitive and instinctual. And when we're born, we are given this partner, but modern life often splits us from this partnership because it's not part of the modern cosmology, which doesn't mean it's right. So Nikole's job is to reunite you with this essential element of yourself. And I thought, Kristin, that I would just kind of give a little tour so people could see the ranch a little bit.
Yeah, the ranch is so cute. It's just, it's epic. I wish we could do the whole retreat there. Maybe down the road. But for you to show it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting where I'm sitting. I just flipped the camera, and this is our portal. There's Katie, one of our ranch dogs, and our ranch is, this is kind of a a pan of the 11 acres. There's a ridge line in the distance, which connects to the wilderness and the national forest. And that arena is where the work happens. And that arena opens up into the paddocks where the horses live. When people come here, they have the whole ranch to themselves, and it's a very gracious hacienda. And as is usually the deal in ranch life, I have no idea what we're going to encounter in this little tour, Kristin. So,
yeah, part of life, right? We're open.
Part of the deal.
Yes, part of the adventure within. Yes,
that's right.
Yeah,
And this just goes down to, we have a lot of sculptures at the ranch, and a lot of the sculptures are there. You can see in the distance, Mujer del Lago, who's Lady of the Lake. A lot of our sculptures have to do with honoring the feminine, and that's Daisy, our ranch truck.
Love it.
But we're going to go to the paddocks.
Okay.
And walk through the barn to get to the paddocks, so you can say hi to some of our four-legged faculty.
I love it. Kelly, we talk about symbols and just different, sculptures that you have on property. I remember kind of stumbling across you and your brand and just the spiral. And that's something that I've always been integrating into kind of some of my branding, but just how, even part of this retreat, it's really trying to cultivate and embrace this feminine energy. And right, masculine energy is very A to B, very linear, but the spiral is so significant of that adventure within, that constant kind of evolution. And
that's right.
The beautiful overlap. It's really neat.
That's right. And looky here, this is what's so interesting. Speaking of the feminine, she has a fly mask on, and I'll see if I can take it off. But this is Artemis. She could have been anywhere in the paddock, but Artemis is our alpha mare, our alpha female, and she is standing here greeting us. So there is absolutely no coincidences here at Buffalo Spirit Ranch. She has a little fly mask on, so I'm just going to take that off so you can. Hi, Artemis. Did you want to say hi to everybody?
Oh,
she did. Let's take this off you. Getting a close up of her mane. There we go. There's a good girl. So this is Artemis. Hi.
Goddess vibes.
That's right. And she really teaches people a lot about leadership, and don't you? Yeah. Oh dear, that's giving you a little rub. She's featured a lot in my book, Flying Lead Change, and she's just a wonderful teacher on what it means to be a real leader, and how leadership has nothing to do with dominance or might or force. That leadership from the ancient horse herd point of view, which is 56 million years of evolutionary intelligence, leadership is all about care and presence. Artemis. So that's very cool that she's here saying hi. This is the paddock where we have a series of paddocks. This is one of them, where everybody lives, and in the distance you might see Dante's legs. That's our little friend. That's our friend Dante. He's not so little. And this is hi Aiden. This is Aiden. Hi Aiden. Aiden came from South Dakota. She was raised on Standing Rock, the reservation, and there's Brio. Hi Brio. It's funny, right? They're all kind of putting their head down to kind of take the flies off their legs, but it almost looks like they're all bowing to say hello.
Yes, I think so. And hydrating or eating. I can't.
And hydrating. Well, they're actually, just for fun, because no one really gets to see this, but they're eating their hay out of their little hay net. Hi, Brio. Nice. Brio is a magnificent boy. He came from Brazil, and he is a breed of horse that's known as an Iberian, which are Lusitano horses that are bullfighting horses from Brazil and Portugal. Hi.
Beautiful.
Okay. Hi. Okay, everybody's moving on. So those are just three of our faculty. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else I can show you.
Yeah. And
Bye, Ada.
I know you're still kind of taking us around, and you'll get into this, but without giving all of the experience away, just
Yes.
if someone's wondering, like, how the heck do we work with a horse to, and right, we're not riding the horses, but like, how do we work? How does it work? You're working on the ground with the horse to kind of teach this lesson.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, well, the horses are in the arena that you saw, and they are roaming free. They get to have free choice and freedom about how they respond. And this is Thunder Bear. He's our ranch manager.
Hey.
Thunder Bear's our cultural educator, and he's a member of the Tasuki Pueblo. So the horses are free to roam in the arena. They don't have a halter or anything controlling on them. And because they're animals of prey, they're highly sensitive. And they're highly sensitive to the energies people bring, to the intentions people are bringing, to the hidden thoughts and beliefs that are there. This is part of their evolutionary mastery because they've survived for 56 million years, making them one of the oldest, most successful mammals on the planet. By the way, the oldest is the platypus at 150 million. But platypus don't stay in the fences as easily. So, and this attunement allows them to read people in this very powerful way and an insightful way. But they don't read the energies, thoughts, beliefs, intentions of people in a kind of shaming way. That's not part of their scene. Shame is not a horse construct. That's a human construct, sadly. And so they're just warmly and powerfully showing a mirror. And, our dialogue then circles around what is being reflected and how might that be relevant to each person in their life right now. And then oftentimes, because of these insights, the horses might reorganize themselves in a different way to engage with those insights that are undeniable and super powerful. So for somebody looking, they might be standing on the balcony looking down at the arena and watching the process. They might say, wow, it looks like paint is drying. To the people in the arena having the experience with the horses, minds are being blown, hearts are being blown open, important insights are being validated. There's so much happening. And people often say, we get emails all the time from folks who've been out here for, just a couple of hours saying that changed everything for me. We are a coach consulting organization. This is not equine therapy. We're not therapists. And therapy is powerful and useful, but the coaching context is very much forward looking. What, given everything you know now, where do you want to go from here? It's very much about building on possibilities, leaning into strengths. So it's a very different lens, forward looking, emphasizing strengths and gifts, emphasizing what is working, and not so much focusing on things that are more about the past. Yeah. Even though the past can certainly show up in a session, of course, because as you know, Kristin, the past is here, as is the present, as is in the future, in this present moment. So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, part of my desire to want to integrate this type of experience is just even personally having past experience, seeing a therapist or a counselor. I've done that before. I think it's wonderful and helpful, but there's something truly magical about this type of interaction and experience that shows you the now and where you can go being present, or just even having a moment with a horse and realizing this, like, difference, or like you even said in your book, just presence. It goes beyond a physicality. It's like this dynamic space and time. It's just a mystical, powerful experience. And then even just being able to experience the difference between, all right, I'm one-on-one with the horse and I want them to go around the pen in a circle or something, and how there is a difference between controlling a situation versus being so present and calm and confident in your energy, and how that can affect who you're around. So just the energetics of it as an experience is so powerful. And so just knowing that intertwines so much with this adventure within, or coming back to that inner self. I just think it's such a beautiful thing and gift for someone to experience. So I'm really
Yes. Yes.
grateful
Thank
for
you. Really well said. And, I like to say to people, instead of imagining or, considering that you're going to be out there with horses, consider instead you're going to be with a 56 million year old teacher, someone who's been around a really long time and learned how to handle life's challenges.
Yeah.
What would you want to learn from them? What could they show you that humans haven't been able to show you? And this is not for people who love horses. This is people who love life. And the horses are a guide. So it's really not about the horse. So if you like horses, great. If you don't like horses, great. It doesn't matter. Even if you're allergic, there's all kinds of ways around that. If you like animals, fine. If you don't like them, that's also fine, because you're really kind of coming to a spiritual teacher, a mentor, somebody who has lots to offer and who sees things very differently than how we've learned to see things. So there's just, everybody benefits when they come to that kind of teacher.
Love that. Love it. Well, would it help for any guests to kind of show up to this experience with an already limited, maybe they have a limited belief or something, or is it best that they just show up with curiousness and just open, or it could be either, maybe?
That's a great question.
Just curious.
My invitation is you come as you are.
Okay.
If you have limited beliefs, but you don't know that you have them, fine. If you've got them, you don't need to pretzel yourself to come into this experience. You don't have to change anything about yourself. If you come into the arena and you've just had a really horrible phone call and your hair's on fire, come into the arena. If you feel afraid because you're with, 3 tons of horse flesh, bring it. It's all, there's so much permission here to come as yourself. It is not there aren't parlor tricks. We're not out to get you and catch you in limited beliefs. This is not how we roll. This is such a profoundly loving and accepting embrace that it's hard to articulate, because we actually don't have much of that in the human realm. Not this level of unconditional love. So really come as you are, like completely.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I feel that parallels so well with just even other modalities offered on the retreat. Just, you don't have to have a handstand practice. You could be your very first time in yoga or meditation or at a retreat. It's literally, like you said, come as you are, and open arms, and just nourishing you and bringing that gentle compassion and just letting everyone just be and receive. So,
and, I'm really excited that we're doing this partnership, because of course this invitation is going out to the folks who are part of the Equus community. Kristin and I have had good, strong, hard conversations. I am so excited that you're going to be doing your body of work here and around here. And I also invite the Equus community to, I'm sure Kelsey's going to put it up on the chat, to look at the retreat to see if this is something that you would like to participate in and get a chance to be a part of things that Equus doesn't normally offer, like the dying, like the ojo caliente, all those bits and pieces that are so complementary to what we do here at Equus.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time, Kelly. I'm super excited for this. And again, if anybody has questions specifically about the retreat, you're welcome to email me or check out more of the details of the retreat on my website. But we only have a few spots left. So I'm excited that this is filling up, and this whole Adventure Within retreat has really been curated from the heart. And so I'm excited to share the experience with everybody. So, and thank you again for your time, Kelly. And
so much.
yeah, thank you so much. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye.